Hello and welcome to my channel, Home with Sarah Jane. Today I wanted to share with you an update on the curriculum that we've been using this year and what worked and what didn't. So I'm going to start with stuff that we were going to do together and let you know if it worked or not. The first thing that we did were author studies. So this is just one. For example, we did Nellie Bly, where we read the Who Was Nellie Bly, and then we worked out of this book here. These worked out really well. We did a whole bunch of different authors. I do have videos on the different author studies, and I'll be filming the second semester author studies that we chose to do as well, if you wanted to, watch those. And then this one always makes me laugh, geography. I had planned on working through this book with my kids. It's Help Your Kids with Geography, a unique step-by-step visual guide. So I planned on doing this book. I opened this book 0 times. So I didn't even go through any of this with my children. It looks like a really great book, but we did not use it at all. So that did not work for us. I also tried to do, these are Memoria Press, I think is how you say it. So it's Geography and Geography 2. So these ones we started working through and we liked them, but then we just stopped doing them. Just stopped, we just didn't do it. This was something that if we got more interested in another subject, or because I felt like they did enough geography in history and even in their language arts that they do, that this just kind of like fell to the wayside. That we just stopped doing it. We maybe did this for the first 3 months of school where we worked through these geography books. Geography is something I'm hoping to do a little bit better with next year. Okay, so my oldest daughter, she takes French, and this was the program that I had got for her for this school year. And again, it was through Memoria Press, and it's called First Start French, and it's the introduction to the French language. And I got her the student book, and I got the teacher book, and then I also got the CD that goes with it. Guess how many lessons we did out of this book? 0. We did 0 lessons out of this program. After I purchased this and I put it on our schedule, I spoke to my daughter and I asked her how she was feeling about French, and she just said that she felt that she needed a year off. So what she did instead was Duolingo. Duolingo worked really well for her. It's just, a little app on the phone that she just does a little bit every day. And next year, I think we might use this. I'm not sure. You'll see in my, curriculum video that will be coming up. There's nothing, like I said, there's nothing really wrong with any of these. It's just we ended up not doing them or doing something else. So for nutrition, I bought this book, Food and Nutrition for Every Kid, Easy Activities That Make Learning Science Fun. This is another book that we did 0 lessons out of. I probably sound like a huge failure right now, but this is homeschooling. This is what happens sometimes. But instead of this, what I did that ended up working was for my youngest daughter, I had her work out of this book, The Care and Keeping of You, the Body Book for Girls, and this is book 1. My oldest has already gone through this book, so I use this one for my youngest. And what I end up doing with these books is I'll take my label maker, and if you can see, I will put lesson numbers inside the book so that they know, do lesson 1, do lesson 2, and I could assign it that way. And then anytime there is a topic I feel that maybe mom needs to step in on, I will put little notes as well, like do this with mom or get mom. So I just kind of mapped this out. They did it once. She did this one once a week. Every Friday she does a lesson. She's almost done with it because we do school until the end of May. But I ended up breaking this book into 32 lessons. She only has, I think, like 2 or 3 left. And then she's all done with this one. Now for my oldest daughter for health, she did The Care and Keeping of You, book 2, the body book for older girls. And again, she's already worked through this whole book. This one had less lessons for her. But again, I broke them down with my label maker. So like this one had 21. I broke it into 21 lessons. She already finished this. It was just really good. It was just a nice, refresher. These are things we've already talked about. And it was just something, again, that she did every Friday. And it was just a quick little read. It only added maybe 5 minutes to her day. And that worked really well for health for us. Another thing we tried to do together that did not work out was vocabulary cartoon of the day. This worked for us a couple of years ago and it worked really well. We put it in our morning basket and it was great. But this year it did not work for us. We just found we weren't picking it up. And there's nothing wrong with this book. Like I said, we used it a couple years ago. It's for grades 4 through 6. And we just didn't do it again. We just didn't feel like it. We didn't pick it up. So what I did for vocabulary, there is vocabulary in my kids' language arts curriculum, but I felt that my oldest daughter just needed a little more. So what I ended up doing is I ended up getting her this word search book. And this is word search for kids ages 11 through 13. And so it's a word search book, but what I liked about it is that it gives you the words with the word, where is it? It gives you the words with the word search that you have to find. But on this side, it gives you a space that you can write the words and their definitions. And that's all I was really looking for, was something fun and something quick. Again, this was 5 minutes maybe a day, because she didn't even do all of the words from one word search in one day. We would only pick a couple. She would find them, write the definitions, and be done. So this I felt worked really well for my 7th grader. Again, my 4th grader, I didn't feel that she really needed any more vocabulary than what she was already getting at this point. So for history, we used The Good and the Beautiful History Year 4. This worked amazing for us this year. We have gone through the other 3 books, so we're very familiar with this one. We really like it. But I also added in these books with 21 activities. So when we went through the Civil War, I worked out of this book and this book, and it's not that this one wasn't enough. I just wanted to cover more of the Civil War. So we went through this, and of course we just added in like who was books and stuff like that. So I mean, it was a lot of fun doing the activities out of this one as well. So history, actually, we did great. There was nothing wrong with it. It worked out for us. Okay, so for science, we like unit studies. So we have worked out of different unit studies through The Good and the Beautiful. So the first one that we did for the year was birds. This one was one of our favorite units. It was such an amazing unit. It was so much fun. We did it alongside like reading a whole bunch of different books, watching shows. This one was just so good. We really enjoyed it. And then after that, we ended up going into reptiles, amphibians, and fish. This one was another one. Honestly, out of all the Good and the Beautiful units that we've ever done, these 2 have been our favorite. These have been amazing. The mammals one is also really, really good. So these ones have been just amazing. We actually ended up getting a bearded dragon after we did this unit because we were just so fascinated with it. My youngest daughter always wanted a bearded dragon, and I finally gave in, and it was after we did this unit. So this unit was just a lot of fun. Again, we added books. So science was a win. There was nothing that really failed for us in science. We also we studied the science of archaeology as well through one of the books with this one is 25 activities. This one was good. It was just a lot of information. So it took us twice as long as I thought that it was going to take us to get through this book. So although it was really great, a lot of fun, I grabbed some dig kits to go along with this. We watched some, documentaries. It worked out really well. It just took us a lot longer to get through this one. And then what we're working on now, and this is what we'll finish the year with, is beginning chemistry through The Good and the Beautiful. So far, we've really enjoyed it. We've really enjoyed the experiments with it. It's been a lot of fun so far. And my daughter, actually, my oldest daughter, she really loves chemistry. So this one she's been waiting for all year. So this one really worked well for us. And then the last of the stuff that we did together was the Lives of the Artist for art and Lives of the Musicians for music. These worked. I mean, we liked them. They're just short stories, but I just felt like it wasn't enough. Like, I wish I would have done a little bit more for art and music this year. We did try to work our way through Ready to Read Music, and we did this for about half the year, and then we just stopped doing it. Like, it just, again, we just stopped. I do have my oldest daughter keep this one in her room because she does do, what is it called? Hoffman Academy, I think is what it called, for piano. So she does play the piano, so I do have her keep this in her room just in case, but this one didn't really work well for us. It's, again, there's nothing wrong with it. It just wasn't, you know, it wasn't what we were looking for. And the fact that my youngest daughter hasn't really shown like major interest in learning an instrument, I think was part of it. Like she didn't want to go and read about reading music or trying to learn to play the piano yet. She just wasn't there. So it was just not a good fit for us together. And then again, these two books, like I said, they work, they're funny, it's great introduction. I just wish I would have done maybe a little more to art and music this year, but I didn't. I'll be looking into something for next year. Now, for their individual stuff, my youngest daughter used The Good and the Beautiful Level 3. She will finish this out by the end of the year. It worked really well for her. It covers literature, grammar and usage, punctuation, art, geography, spelling, vocabulary, and writing. So this one worked really well for her. She really enjoys The Good and the Beautiful in the way that it's laid out. The only thing that didn't work for us is the spelling part of it. So the spelling part of it was too advanced for her. She just wasn't there yet, and so we just kind of cut it out. We did some of the activities using our own spelling words, so that worked out really well. But overall, I would say that this was, again, a win. But instead of their spelling, I just bought an Evan Moore Building Spelling Skills 2nd grade. She is in the 4th grade, but I wanted something that was going to come a little bit easier to her to kind of build that confidence. So I got this book for her, and this worked out really well. We would either just do the pages from here, or we would do the activities using these words through The Good and the Beautiful. And then for my youngest, for her handwriting, she did use The Good and the Beautiful Level 4, and she liked it, and she blew through that book, and it was amazing. She loved it. So when she finished that, we moved into Exploring Handwriting Through U.S. History. And this one, it just teaches cursive, but it teaches it using like historical quotes or information about certain states, you know, things like that. So this one, it did work really well. She's still at the beginning of this book. So if you look, she's still just kind of practicing the letters. But I mean, I honestly just didn't have a backup, and I didn't want her to stop handwriting because she finished that Good and the Beautiful handwriting book so fast this year. So I just had this one as like, it was extra in my like pile of stuff that I pulled from. So yeah, this one is working for her, but we will go back to the Good and the Beautiful handwriting because she does really, really like that one. For my oldest daughter, for language arts, she used, surprise, surprise, The Good and the Beautiful Level 7. Now this one, she will only get halfway through before the end of the year. So she will finish this one up next year, but she really enjoys it. So this one, again, it covers literature, grammar and usage, punctuation, art, geography, spelling, vocabulary, and writing. My oldest daughter really enjoys using The Good and the Beautiful. I've asked her on more than one occasion, you know, when I kind of do my check-in with her, is there anything that you want to change? Is there anything that you're struggling with? And she has always says that she loves doing this curriculum. So my youngest daughter, she struggles a little bit with language arts. So for her, she would just say, I don't want to do language arts anymore. But every time we've tried to change from The Good and the Beautiful, we always found our way right back to it. So I kind of learned my lesson with that. I don't think I'm going to be hopping around with different language arts anymore because we always come back to The Good and the Beautiful. So to go along with The Good and the Beautiful for my oldest daughter, I also picked up Banish Boring Words. Now this was just a supplement. It worked really, really well for her. It basically gives you, you know, ideas to use in place of boring words. So this worked really well for her writing. Again, like they have different types of action words. Instead of saying said, you know, use these words. type of thing. She just keeps this in her room. Again, it's just a supplement. She uses it when she's writing essays or when she's working on her book that she's trying to write. So this was, again, it was just a supplement, but it worked really, really well. And then for my oldest daughter, she did already work through the level 7 handwriting through The Good and the Beautiful, and she finished that really fast. So she's kind of done with their handwriting now, but she wanted to continue handwriting. So I found this Harry Potter's Hogwarts Homework Cursive Handwriting Practice Workbook. That was a mouthful. So I found this book here, and this one I just thought honestly was really cute. So it's just a whole bunch of quotes from the movie and the books. I guess it would be more from the books, right? So you can see that, you know, it's just, you know, some Harry Potter quotes. She really enjoyed this one. I think she'll be done. Yeah, she'll be done by the end of the year. If you want to see one without any of her writing on it, just to see what it looks like. She'll finish this up by the end of the year. And then I'll ask her if next year she wants to do any handwriting. Oh, I forgot to mention, my youngest daughter, was also taking The Good and the Beautiful's Typing 1 this year. My oldest has already worked through all 3 of their typing books, and she loved them. And she's a great typer. Now she just types on her own, and she doesn't really use like a typing program. My youngest daughter used this for about a week. This was successful for about a week, and then we stopped it. We are going to introduce it again most likely next year. There's nothing wrong with the curriculum. It's just something, again, that just fell by the wayside. For math. Math is the subject that I think was the hardest for us this year. My youngest daughter started with teaching textbooks, what year is it? She started with teaching textbooks year 4. So she did teaching textbooks for half the year. And then in second semester, I was just like, no, we're done. Like, she can't do this anymore. It's not working. And it wasn't that it didn't work. Her math literally only took her 5 minutes to do. Every single day, she would just click, 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 and she was done. Like, it held no interest. There was no interest in it for her at all. So, the beginning of second semester, we started, what is this called? Simply Good and Beautiful Math 4. She loves it. She loves this one so much. She will actually finish this up probably over the summer. But this one, Simply Good and Beautiful Math, is the revised math through The Good and the Beautiful. And we used the old version of, I think it was Math 1 and Math 2. And it was really long and she didn't like it. But since they've updated it, she's really, really enjoyed this program. She likes the videos. She likes the work that she's doing. And I feel like it's like more variety of like different math, I can't say that, math, than teaching textbooks. Not that teaching textbooks is bad. It just wasn't a good fit for her. She wanted something with like a video and practice and games and things like that. So this one works really well for her. And I mean, she is about halfway through. So she is going through it a little bit faster, but just huge improvement for her. Now, I don't have anything to show you for my daughter's math, my older daughter's math either. She is doing teaching textbooks pre-algebra. She has done teaching textbooks from level 3 until pre-algebra. And it worked until it didn't work. So this year was the first year it really wasn't working for her. I thought that it was just, hey, it's pre-algebra, it's more challenging math, you know, she may just need extra help. So I tried getting supplements. I tried getting books that she can use as reference, as guides, things like that. I started having her read little chapters out of these math help books. I can't remember what they're called, but they're just, you know, just as supplements. No, none of that has worked. So right now I'm in the process of trying to find something new. Spoiler alert, we won't be using teaching textbooks for math next year for her. I think I want to go something more mastery than Spiral for math. She has just really been struggling. And it's not that she's doing a bad job. It's just that she's getting frustrated with the lectures. She doesn't feel like the lecture's going over the more difficult problems enough for her. And she just wants to try something different at this point because Again, like I said, teaching textbooks was really great for a lot of years for us, and I loved it. I didn't have to do anything. You know, you just sit them in front of the computer, they do their lesson, it gets corrected, it gets graded, they get tests, they get all of that, but it's just not working anymore. So, although it's a wonderful program, we are looking for something different. So, that is it pretty much for what we, you know, what worked and what didn't for us this year. Just because some of these items didn't work for us doesn't mean that they won't work for you. They just didn't fit our family anymore, some of these things, especially math. Math really needed to change for us. And again, like I said, I'll be looking for something for my oldest daughter for next year. I think we're pretty set on my youngest daughter for her math. But yeah, thank you so much for stopping by. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. Have a great day. Bye.